And got another raw banger for y'all today. Today I'm gonna be talking about one of the tactics, one of my go-to tactics that I use when I'm trying to either catch an internal and I don't know who it may be, or I need to test somebody's integrity to know if I could trust them in the workplace or not. So this tactic used to be very effective back in the day when they took shoplifting very seriously on the law side of things, when they was actually prosecuting and taking people to jail. So this tactic won't be as effective externally as it will be internally. So when I tell you about this tactic, don't try to use it to catch shoplifters, because it's just like giving merchandise away for free and you don't want them problems. Now, internally, this tactic will help you all day, every day, if and when you use it right. So, the way it works is this: you go and you select some high theft merchandise off of the sales floor, you put it in a bag, and you stage it somewhere where you know that you have a lot of theft. So, if you are consistently walking your back rooms and you're finding empty packages in certain areas like the Walmart to go area, the unloading area, wherever it may be, this is where you can, stage that goodie bag. And so when you use this tactic, make sure that you put it in camera view. Make sure it's in camera view, because there's no point of using it if you put it in a blind spot, because it's going to be hard to track when you do video review. All right. So make sure that you don't put it in, areas where you don't have camera view, such as, the break rooms, for example. Because we know that a lot of employees, they like to take stuff into the break room, and then that's where we lose track of the merchandise. You feel me? So we can see them go into the break room with merchandise. When they in the break room, we don't know what's going on with that merchandise. And then when they come out, obviously it's gonna be gone. It's gonna be concealed. It's gonna be, given to somebody else, whatever the case may be. So, for example, I had a big problem in the Walmart to go area at my store. Every time I walked the back room, I was finding empty packages in the Walmart to go area. Now, there's so many employees that work back there. I can't pinpoint who is taking stuff back there without paying for it. So I set me up a little goodie bag back there, and voila, I found who was taking stuff in the back room without paying for it. So how I did it was I staged it back there in camera view, and I watched video. I did video review. I see an employee come back there. Some employees, they seen it, they walked past it, but one employee went back there, looked inside of the bag, started looking around, looked up at the cameras, and that's when his ass was caught right then and there when he looked up at the cameras. Looked around, looked up at the cameras, put the bag on side of the desk, and continued about his day. He came back before the end of his shift. He gets the bag again. He selects the bag. He looks around, makes sure the coast is clear. He conceals the bag inside of his backpack. He goes back to the time clock. He clocks out and he walks out. Boom, got him. Now, the perk to using this tactic is that you already know what's inside the bag. You know the dollar amount that's inside the bag. So you already know what's up. So, long story short, when we brought him in for the exit interview, we asked him, how long he's has he been shoplifting inside of the store, taking stuff without paying for it. He told us he was hurting, he didn't have enough money for it, he was struggling, things like that. And then when we asked him about the bag that I staged back there, he just said it was the opportunity that got him. You feel me? Like open opportunity. And so that's why he took it. He didn't have a legitimate reason to why he took it. It was just a good opportunity to take it, and that's what he did. Now, a lot of people sometimes don't have the intentions on stealing, but if the opportunity presents itself, they will take that risk all day, every day. They will take the risk all day, every day. And then sometimes it's people that you wouldn't even thought would steal. You feel what I'm saying? Most cases, you going to catch people internally, externally, that you would have never thought would steal from the company or was even stealing at all. All right. So when it comes to opportunity, you got to close that gap. You got to close that gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I told a story about a female that was standing in line and pushed out with $300, $400 worth of merchandise at self checkout because the opportunity presented itself. She was standing in line, looked at the door, seen that nobody was there, walked out. You feel me? So people have good intentions of paying for their stuff, but if the opportunity presents itself, they're going to take it all day, every day. So after he got done confessing as to why he stole the merchandise and all that, he got prosecuted. And, of course, he lost his job. Now, a lot of people would say, this is entrapment. This is messed up that y'all would set people up like this. Well, right is right, wrong is wrong. We all adults, right from wrong. Stealing is wrong. So, you know, at the end of the day, spare me the BS. You feel me? Period. That's what it come down to. Spare me the BS. Y'all know right from wrong. If you choose wrong, be prepared to suffer the consequences for your actions. Period. Now, the other perk to using this tactic is this, that you get to see who people really are. You get to see if people can be trusted inside of the workplace. And that's solely the main reason why I use this tactic, because I need to know. Sometimes we don't have a week, a month, 2 months, 6 months to figure out if we could trust somebody in the workplace, because we watching so many other people. We got so many, high value other cases we got to tend to that we don't have time to, watch everybody. So sometimes I like to use this tactic to expedite the process. You know what I mean? So there's been times I use this tactic and people did the right thing. They find the bag, they take it back to, customer service, or they would take it back and they would stock it where it needed to go. Now, in some cases, you got those people that are looking for the five-finger discount, and they gonna take the risk. And that's what this is why I do what I do, because I need to know if I can trust you. And using this tactic is gonna get rid of all that doubting, that overthinking, if you could trust this person or not. If they gonna do the right thing or not. This one right here is gonna test their integrity all day, every day. Period. Especially when it comes to the overnight crew. Because the overnight crew, they feel like they ain't being watched like everybody else. So this tactic could be very effective when it comes to the overnight crew, because they in there with a very few managers. They do not have to worry about the, customer interactions. They in there by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot easier to track the overnight associates on camera than it is to track, associates during the daytime, because, we got customers that's in the way. You got a busy store, a crowded store. So sometimes it's hard to keep track of these people on camera, depending on what type of camera system, the store has. Now, overnight, there ain't nobody but them in the store. So they're easier to track. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, this goodie bag tactic is one of my favorite tactics to use inside of the workplace. And this could go for upper management as well. Management can get the smoke too. There's been plenty of cases of managers stealing money, taking merchandise in the store without paying for it. You feel me? So there's one way you could do it. There's one way you could do it. So once again, when you use this tactic, make sure that you stage the bag or whatever you're using, even if it's, merchandise, single merchandise itself. It ain't even got to be in the bag. If it's just a portable speaker or a USB cable or a piece of clothing, just make sure that you are putting it in camera view. I cannot stress that enough. You feel me? Now, you use this tactic the right way, I promise you, you're gonna catch a lot of bodies. You got to start internally because that's where it begins in the workplace. And so if we can prevent theft internally by setting the tone, by putting pressure on the associates, by closing the gap of opportunity, externally we won't have so many problems because word is going to hit the streets that okay, these people get down in here. I've been seeing people left and right walking out of here in handcuffs, being prosecuted, losing their jobs. So you want to send that message. You want to send that message and you want to send it raw, the raw way. You feel me? Because when word hit the streets, people ain't gonna touch your store as much. They're gonna go to another store where it's a lot easier to get away. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, Eagle family, y'all be safe out there. Shout out to my APAs out there. Happy hunting. Y'all know what it is. Stand your ground. Watch your surroundings. Be alert at all times. It's your boy Eagle Eye Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.